Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me via Zoom is...
Matthew Zoom Haas.
Matthew Zoom Haas.
Yep.
Is that one word or two, or is that the middle name, Zoom?
It's 3 words.
Oh, okay.
Zoom, the character from The Flash.
Oh, yeah, that's who you are.
That's me now, yeah, so...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, on today's episode, I had an interview with actor Will McLaughlin. I can't talk right now. Anyways, he is best known as playing Earl on Superstore, and also known for his recurring role as Officer Killnose on Parks and Recreation. Randy Killnose. He was in 7 different episodes of that. And he's really great guy. He's an actor with the UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade. Teaches there as well. Very funny guy. It was a great interview. He plays cops a lot in movies and stuff too, so it's cool. We talk about that. We have a interesting interruption at one point in the episode, which I'm going to leave in, from Viola Davis. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out how that happened. Yes. Award-nominated actress Viola Davis appears in the episode for a very brief second. Also, he's just a fun guy to talk to. So, without further ado, here's my interview with Will McLaughlin. First, I just wanted to thank you for taking time to talk to us today. How are you dealing with all the stuff with the pandemic and everything here in the world, first off?
How am I dealing with it? Yeah, it's been going on a while, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
My pandemic has actually been okay. I mean, it seems so selfish to say, it's driving me crazy, it's driving me nuts that I can't go to a bar or go out to eat. But, I think of people who, well, A, actually have COVID, the crap that they're going through. B, the people that have like families and extended families or can't see their families or, anything like that. And, I don't have that to deal with. I don't have anyone else to take care of financially. Yeah. So, my pandemic has been pretty breezy. So my heart goes out to all those who have not had a very easy time in it. But I've been catching up on a lot of TV, watching a lot of movies, ticking all those boxes off. I haven't been doing a lot of, it's like, great, once I finally get some time to just really sit down and do nothing, I'm just going to write, and I just haven't done anything at all. Just because of the looming sword of Damocles that's over all of us with this pandemic. I'm like, is anybody going to need any written material anymore? And it looks like they will. It looks like they will, and I have absolutely nothing to show at the end of it. But
yeah, I know how that is. I've been staring at an outline for a feature film I've been trying to write for years, and I've just been staring at it, and I'm like, I'm going to do it now. And then, just stares back at me.
The blank page. Well, you're not blank. At least you got an outline. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. First off, I was just curious, like, how did you, where did you grow up, first off? Yeah. was curious about that.
I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
I lived in I was born in Syracuse, New York, but lived there until I was 4. And my mom, according to her, she read an article in the newspaper about how Atlanta was a city on the grow. I think especially for young single mothers, it was the land of opportunity. So, and, I guess I'm kind of poking fun of it, but you don't realize until you're adult what a brave move that is. You're a single mother, you're divorced, you're from a Catholic family and you've gotten divorced, and you're striking out on your own with your 4-year-old in a city you've never been to, you don't even know. I mean, I don't think I ever told that to my mom while she was alive, but that's just a remarkable, brave thing to do. I don't know if I would ever be able to do that.
No, that is pretty brave. I mean, anytime you like uproot yourself and just go somewhere else, it's got to be a lot of pressure and just just the fear of the new too.
But then you just add in the factors of being a single mom, being from a Catholic family where divorce is still a stigma.
Oh yeah.
Moving from the Northeast to the South, the culture shock of that.
Yeah.
It's pretty daunting. But Atlanta was a pretty cosmopolitan city. I guess it is now. When I grew up in Atlanta was like a city that saw the picture of a city in a book, and said, "Oh, let's do that," without realizing, "Oh, we actually need artists and writers and winning sports teams and stuff like that." And now they have them, so now it feels like an actual bona fide city.
Yeah, I grew up actually an Atlanta Falcons fan, so I kind of. Just randomly, I don't know. I was like everybody else around here liked either the Cleveland Browns or the Detroit Lions, and I was like, I'm just going to pick the Atlanta Falcons.
Whoa, that's really what? But because you were raised in Ohio?
Yeah. I picked them. Plus, Jerry Glanville, who was their coach way back when, he grew up in Perrysburg, which is right next to Toledo. And and so I kind of was like, that'll work. And I used to have Christmas. I used to have Christmas dinner with his mom every year too. So it was kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you do have a connection.
I do have a connection, but it was still like everybody else was like, "Why do you like the Falcons?" So just like
Well, I mean, the Glanville era Falcons. That was the Falcons to like.
There was like Deion Sanders and everybody then too.
Deion, they changed their uniforms. Michael Vick was playing for them.
Yeah. It was a good
I don't know if that's a plus these days.
Yeah, no, but back then it was kind of
we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
And then I kind of just fell off of liking sports and fell more into the arts. So how'd you actually get in? Speaking of the arts, how'd you get interested in acting and comedy and everything like that?
I think that I got interested in acting. I think it was just out of laziness. Well, I mean, I guess it was also just because it was a way to be popular at my elementary school, because I wasn't good at sports. I wasn't particularly good looking. I was a fat kid. I still am, and but I found that if I just imitated what I saw on TV and just regurgitate it back to my friends, because I think the very first act that I saw was the Unknown Comic. I don't know if you're old enough to remember. You remember he had the bag over his head. Yeah. And so we had a talent show at elementary school, quote unquote. I forget. Nobody can see this. Yeah. I'm making air quotes with my fingers. Talent. At my school, and I decided I was just going to do the entire Unknown Comics act, and I didn't understand half the jokes. I just thought it was a funny guy with a bag on his head, and I didn't know what his jokes meant. There was that one. It was like, what do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhino? Elephino. I didn't get the pun at the time. I just thought, oh, it's a funny thing. He's combining elephant and rhino, and people laugh at it. So I think that was the first time the bug bit me, and I was known as the funny guy at school. And I would literally just copy Letterman and Saturday Night Live when I got to school. But also, I say laziness too, because I learned, in my school, we had in English class, you had to do a book report at the end of every month, and I've come to learn that it's called power reading. Like they give you a list of 50 options that you can do other than just reading your book report about, hey, here's what this book was about, here's what I liked, and here's whatever. And one of the options was perform a short scene from this book. And I said, all right, I'm going to try this out. I'm just going to get a book. I'm going to flip through. I'm going to look for a scene, and I'm just going to do that scene in front of a class. And I realized that I could get away with not reading a book and if I just got up there and made an ass of myself, then the teachers would give me an A. And I'm like, all right, this is the game for me.
Nice.
So I think that was my first journey into the wonderful world of the arts.
Yes. I see that you were part of the UCB. You took classes there and everything. How did you get involved with that?
Well, I went to art school in Savannah, Georgia, and stayed there way too long. I went to art school not because I was talented at art or anything. I just went because they had no math. I wasn't strong at math, so I said, well, art school, that's the thing for me. And I was a video production major, but I wasn't particularly good at video production. I was really bad at the technical stuff, but I was pretty good at being in front of the camera. So I'm like, all right, well, I think this is a sign. I should just go somewhere to be in front of the camera, or whatever. And so, but I'm 4 credits shy of my degree. I kept saying, all right, this is the year I get back into school. This is the year I get back into school. Never happened. Anyway, I ended up just kind of the plan was to move to Chicago and go to Second City and Improv Olympic and Steppenwolf and those places. I didn't really have a plan. I just knew that there were some actors that I respected that took that path. I just didn't understand, what it was. And but I ended up moving to New York City kind of on a dare. And while I was there, I'm like, well, I'll just try stand-up here because, that's how you get a job writing for Conan O'Brien or Letterman or Saturday Night Live. It turns out going to Harvard really helps for both of those things. Matter of fact, it helps with most things going to Harvard. So I did stand-up, and I was so bad at it. I was terrible at it, but I couldn't see that at the time. I was, I had the arrogance of a 26-year-old. And it just wasn't clicking in the stand-up world and whatever. And then I saw that I'd seen that a performer from Upright Citizens Brigade had gotten hired to be a writer at Conan O'Brien. And I always knew there was some sort of tacit connection between improv and the sketches that I saw on Saturday Night Live or the things that I would see on Letterman. But I never really understood what that connection was, because all I'd really seen of improv was Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah. And it was just all these short form. I'm like, how do you get from playing the alphabet game to Matt Foley motivational speaker? How do you get from party quirks to Debbie Downer? And so I was like, well, I'll go check out this improv thing. And the first group I saw at Upright Citizens Brigade was the Naked Babies, and that's Brian Husky, Seth Morris, Rob Corddry, and John Ross Bowie. And I was blown away. I was like, oh, this is what I should be doing. This is all the stuff I'm doing in stand-up and no one's laughing at, but holy crap, they're take all my money. So I ended up taking my first class in January of 2001, and I was so addicted to it, I went through it pretty quickly. And just really enjoyed it, and it's become just like it's just kind of it's a family. It's a very dysfunctional family, but that some of my friends for life there, and still one of my favorite things to do is improv the UCB way.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know there's like a big difference between the party quirks sort of small Whose Line Is It Anyway sort of thing, and then the long form. Yeah. They both have their merits, but it's. Oh yeah,
I don't. Yeah. I do not want it to come off as
no. I know you're not. Yeah, no.
But I just find long form improv more satisfying as an actor.
Yeah.
Just because I've never been called into an audition and said, okay, now you guys are going to play freeze tag. But I have gone into auditions they've said, give me a slip of paper. Okay, you've come here to arrest Larry David, and you find that Jerry Minor is in the house. So those things, long form improv, I feel like helps more.
Yeah.
More than short form. But I do find that most people that do short form, everybody who's come out of Boom Chicago, which is a short form theater, man, they're just like ninjas. They can handle absolutely anything. But I think that's just because they do so many shows, or did so many shows, over and over to non-English speaking audiences. So they had to become, facile at absolutely everything.
Yeah. That's that group that like Seth Meyers was part of and stuff, right, or something?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, from in Amsterdam.
Yeah. I was just curious. So I'm a big fan of Superstore, and I was just curious how you got involved with that show, because I know I was crying my eyes out the other night when it ended. But it was like probably my favorite sitcom in the last 20 years. Not because I work at a Walmart, but because partially. But it is. It's just. Yeah.
I actually have some questions for you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious how I ended up on that show too, as I have no idea.
Yeah.
My audition was literally, it was for this guy named Earl, and my line was, "But then I'm going to have to restock the whole shelf." That was the whole line.
Yeah.
And it was either, well, he looks like the person we want, or he doesn't look like the person we want. It was like a Johnny Bravo thing. He fits the costume, or not. And I got on magically. I don't know how. I'm assuming it's because I know a lot of people that work on the show as producers, writers, and cast members. So I'm assuming that's how I got on. not by my merits at saying that I'm going to have to restock the whole shelf, but I'm assuming that's how I got on the show.
Yeah.
But it was just a great ride. Great ride for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I think I was only on 3 seasons on it. But yeah, it's a great show. I'm not completely caught up on it myself. I'm actually getting re-caught up on it.
Nice.
And as I'm watching it on Hulu, I'm like, this is a funny show. This is really good.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointed to see it going away. Not only the paycheck, but that, because I thought that was a really fun show. It was because it does, speak. Somebody pointed out the other day on Facebook. They said, "Oh, great! Now that Roseanne is canceled, what show is there going to be to talk about the working class?" And then somebody was like, "Superstore?
Yeah.
Superstore's still on." And I never thought about that. I'm like, yeah, there's really no other show that kind of talks to the working, about the plights of the working class.
Yeah.
And puts funny bells and whistles on it, but still sneaks the vegetables in, like they do a lot of like politically, I'm not going to say activist, but they do pose some fairly big questions on the show, while making it very funny at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, it has like a heart, and it also has the whole idea of, like it does. There's a little bit of political like activism, quote unquote, too, and there's the whole like and I think it's good because it's basically catering to all points of view and stuff in a lot of ways too.
I think it does.
I mean, like Earl, for example, seems to come off as like a misogynist on there, and so it's like
because I was looking for, because whenever I'm on Facebook, I post to this person who always complains that you never tell me when you're on TV, and I'm like, because I never know when I'm going to be on TV, so I always post to her. I'm like, Jennifer Jarrett, tonight is your opportunity to see me on Superstore. And so I was looking for a photo because I couldn't find any stills of myself on the show, and then I went to this one and I said, "Hey, where's this photo from?" And it was this fan wiki page for I keep doing this a lot, this air quotes thing a lot. It's this fan wiki page, and they had an entry for me, Earl, and it said, "Earl is played by actor Will McLaughlin. He is a loudmouth and a misogynist." And then that was it. That's the entire. That's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Earl and Garrett kind of once in a while have their little, because Garrett's more like quote unquote woke, but than Earl, so it was kind of funny to see that. But yeah,
Marcus, the John Barinholtz character, Marcus and I were always the right wing outlier guys.
Yeah, which is good. I'm glad they had those characters on there. I mean, I'm more liberal, but still the I like that, because
I want to be made clear. So are John Holtz and I.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I knew you guys were. I mean, I've heard interviews with John, so I know that he is, and I've heard a couple. I can just assume you are. So yeah, it's just interesting because like the show does kind of. Being a person that works at a Walmart, it's very accurate to the kind of family that you create.
That's what I was going to ask you, since I know that you're a stalker at a Walmart. How accurate the experience? Like what feels like the most accurate thing that Superstore gets right about working in a big box store?
I think basically it's actually the family aspect of it, because you've got like a, because I mean there are the fights and the you hate somebody one day, the next day they're your best friend sort of thing when it comes to working with somebody. And I mean that's like in any job, but I think that Superstore was able to get that, plus the whole like dealing with customers and the whole just all the different politics when it comes to working in a corporate store of some sort. Yeah. So I think they nailed it all. Yeah. You were also on Parks and Rec, which is another. I think Superstore and Parks and Rec are two of the funniest shows in the last like 20 years or so. So yeah. I've been
really, this word gets thrown around a lot by actors, but I feel very blessed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel just incredibly lucky to have been part of some great projects with great people.
Was it your UCB connection that got you part of that, or was it?
I'm certain it had to be, because it was not my talent at all. I think it was, because I had friends that wrote for the show, and and of course Amy Poehler looks out for all of her lambs on the show, and I think that was another thing where I just knew a bunch of people on the show, and like, hey, we need a cop. This guy Will plays cops a lot, so we'll just get him. But fortunately, I ended up being a cop that they brought back over and over again. But actually, I think the guy who was bringing me back over and over again was Michael Schur, who was one of the creators of the show. And I don't think he and I have ever met at all in person. I mean, we might have, but he has an intense fear of cops. So they would, anytime there was a chance to put that in a storyline, because I think Adam Scott's character was kind of a stand-in for Michael Schur.
Yeah.
In the show, so I think anytime they gave him that thing, that he's paranoid of cops as well. So I think that's kind of what kept me coming back and back.
Yeah. Because I know you did an episode of The Good Place as well. I saw, and then I know he created that as well. So yeah.
Same people. Officer Prawn Mandler. I was Officer Prawn Mandler on that one.
So you play cops a lot. It looks like too. So
and also Michael Schur is doing. There's a new Peacock series called. Oh God, I'm gonna mess this up. God, I should know it. It's a new show. It's just on the Peacock channel, the app.
Yeah.
But it stars Ed Helms. Ed Helms stars as this guy who goes back to his hometown and wherever. And then so I was asked to to play a cop on that. And then I'm like, okay, great, yeah, fantastic. And then they went to pin the name badge on me, and it said Killnose. So Officer Randy Killnose from Parks and Rec. That was my character's name.
Yeah.
So he's apparently back in this town, in this small town with Ed Helms again.
Nice.
So I like that there's been this through line with Michael Schur.
That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, he seems to cast a lot of the same people in all of his shows, which is and even just small roles and everything. Because I mean, I talked to Jim O'Hare once, and he was like on an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and things like that. So something I like to ask people too is like, if you had any advice to give your like younger self before you started acting and everything, what would it be?
Before I started acting?
Yeah, or when you were trying to get into it or whatever, like any kind of, advice.
advice to a young acting me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would say. Well. So it just has to be one piece of advice.
Oh, you can give any advice as much as you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my advice to myself might be, well, stay away from this person and this person.
Yeah.
As, not to name specific names. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there would be like those along the way. But just sort of like as a general advice, it would be like 75% of everything anyone's going to tell you is going to be bullshit. And 25% is probably the truth. Learn to recognize the bullshit. And then I would give that previous me all the bullet points of the things to avoid and the people to avoid. I think there's a lot of bullshit in this business, but there's not a. I'm sure that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But I haven't found the. I've had these preconceptions due to what we see represented in film and TV about what Hollywood is like, and it's full of douchebags and predatory people, and I haven't run into any of that stuff personally. I know they're out there, and I know they exist, and they're waiting in the tall grass for me. But I haven't found the pretentious, materialistic people that I thought I would find in the entertainment industry or in Los Angeles. Maybe I'm just not running in the right circles though. So it's the business has been pretty good to me so far. Not as good as I would like it to be, but it's been pretty good to me.
Yeah, I think you're on the cusp of finding something great too. Honestly, I think you're a great comedic actor. I think
you should move out here and start running Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, if I get my script written,
Get it done.
Yeah, I'm trying to get things going. It's been a couple years since I've directed a film, which is really kind of. I do a lot of indie films out here, so it's like
cool.
Yeah, but what's like the most interesting? I know it's kind of a weird question, but like one of the most interesting things that's happened to you since you've been out in Hollywood. Anything that you would like surprised you or anything?
That surprised me,
or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I guess something the thing that surprised me when I moved out here, New York. I moved here from New York City 15 years ago now. I thought everything was going to be a lot closer together. Just the way you see Los Angeles and Southern California portrayed on movies and film, it looks like, hey, the beach is right next to that Randy's Donuts place.
Yeah.
Which is right near the Hollywood sign. Which is near the Griffith Observatory. It just all seems a lot more compact and compressed on TV and film. And then you get out here, like, fuck it, I got to give myself an hour and a half to get anywhere around here. So I think that was a surprise. I think something that surprised me industry wise was just how just how hard it is to get representation and how necessary it is.
Yeah.
And when I say representation, I don't mean commercial representation. I got that like that. That was set up from New York to LA. So I had a commercial agent pretty quickly. But it took me forever to find any sort of theatrical representation. And I still don't know what it takes or how I got it. But I do. And I guess I'm going to hang on to it. Hang on to it as long as unless somebody bigger comes knocking.
Yeah.
I hope none of my reps are hearing that. I mean, my current reps are fantastic. They're great. I think it's the perfect size agency for me, as who I am. I don't need some CAA, and clearly they don't need me either. I think that was a big surprise. Was just like how long it took me to get theatrical representation.
Yeah, that's that is something I think that a lot of people I've talked to it struggles with, like the fact that it's hard to get that first kind of big bite in trying to get somebody to represent you and everything. So yeah, it's just I mean I'm sure there's so many talented people that just kind of can't get that for some reason or another, and that are
I think so. And the converse of that, there's a lot of really untalented people who have representation. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
But not naming names. I was gonna. There was some point. There was some point I was gonna make, and it's left me. I can't remember what it was.
That's fine. Yeah. Speaking of like things like the fact that we're during this pandemic and everything, I'm just curious. Like, you said you've been watching a lot of TV and movies and everything. Is there anything that you've seen recently that's really like surprised you, or anything that you really liked, or anything
that surprised me,
or that you really loved?
Yeah, I just finished the. Let's just open it up. I've got the TV right in front.
Yeah.
I just finished the that Fran Lebowitz thing, Pretend It's a City. Have you seen that at all?
No, not yet, but I've been wanting to.
Really good. It's really funny. My friend, that's another thing that happened with. Again, what the fuck? Oh my god!
It's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
That's Viola Davis on How to Get Away with Murder, right there. So you can put down this podcast with Will McLaughlin, co-starring Viola Davis.
I should.
That was something. Something about UCB Theater is it's also just been my best agent. My association with that theater. I feel like every job I've ever gotten has been because of my association with that theater. Whether they've seen me on stage, whether it was, the people who I came up and did shows with got jobs on the show, whether it was people who I taught classes to went and got jobs on shows. But that's really kind of been the incubator of my relationship with that theater for every job I've ever gotten. The Pretend It's a City. One of the guys who I met through class was this guy Ted Griffin, who he wrote Ocean's 11, and Tower Heist, and Terriers, and he also executive produced that Fran Lebowitz show.
Nice.
So I was texting with him about it constantly. But yeah, so Pretend It's a City. I thought that was fun and interesting. I watched the. You talk about surprised, and I feel like it's things that I've always had preconceptions about, but it surprised me what it was about. I watched The Boys on Amazon.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Oh yeah.
The superhero show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had a lot of preconceptions about that. I'm like, oh, it's going to be superheroes, but they're just like us with our problems and things. And it really, it's like no show I've ever seen.
I know.
And like they did the darkest comedy, and it still made it like heartwarming moments. I don't even know how they pulled that off. I thought it's a pretty amazing show. I know everybody doesn't feel that way about it, so
yeah, I loved it. I mean, I thought it was good.
I don't want to get too behind it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a show that definitely surprised me with how much I liked it.
Yeah, the executive producer of that show is actually from Sylvania, Ohio, which is right next to Toledo. So it's pretty cool that he's kind of an inspiration.
Jersey with famous people there are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Toledo's got a few. We've got like Jamie Farr and Katie Holmes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just
I love that the first one you counted was Jamie Farr.
Yes. Yeah, I've met him. I actually met Katie as well. But no, Jamie actually, because our big one of our big restaurants here is Tony Pecos Hot Dogs, which he talked about on MASH all the time.
Tony Pecos Hot Dogs. That sounds great.
Yeah, they're like Hungarian hot dogs with like chili sauce on top of them, and they're amazing. And I worked theater. I worked at a theater locally, and he was in a production of The Odd Couple with William Christopher from MASH as well. Yeah. And
Wow.
The first time I ever had a Tony Pecos hot dog, I'm a really picky eater, and he handed it to me, and he's like, "Kid, you got to eat this." So that was, that's my little claim to Jamie Farr fame. But
I can see why he gets first mention.
yes, and then Katie dated a friend of mine, but that's another story. But
What?
yeah, that's a story for another time that I'm not allowed to talk about. When they were in high school, but but no, Toledo does have a few different things going for it. Hopefully, some more people come out of here, like me or somebody. But I was just curious, like, is you got anything coming up or anything that you any projects or anything
Coming up?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about anything that's coming up. Superstore ended, and the movie year is full premiered. That was really all I had in the hopper.
Yeah.
I had a few commercial auditions the other day that I didn't get. So there's that. Nothing coming up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you got something soon. I look forward to anything that you're in, because you've got a knack for good timing, I think, when it comes to humor and everything. So it's good. Anything else you wanted to say before we wrap things up here, or anything?
No.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to put Tony Packy's hot dogs on my list of places to eat if I'm ever in
Toledo. You can have them sent to you too, I believe. So
are they only in Toledo, or
it's a local like chain? But they have Tony Pecos has they do sell like their chili sauce and dogs in restaurant and in grocery stores across the country from different places. So you might be able to find them, and I do believe they deliver. By the way, they're not sponsoring this. Packo.
This is not sponsored by Tony Pecos at all.
No, but if they'd like to sponsor the podcast, let me know. But
you have to do commercials for them every 5 seconds.
Yes. No, but they're
like Mark Maron does.
Yeah. I love Maron's podcast. Yeah. That's what got me interested in podcasting. So
I skipped through that whole first part though, and just get to the interview. It becomes a very interesting show if you just fast forward.
Yeah.
30 seconds. And he's like, Squarespace, you can design anything with script it. Got to say a happy birthday to my dad. So there I am, fucking a pillow. It becomes like this whole different show, like almost Dadaist poetry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Unfortunately, I listen to it a lot of times where I can't fast forward, so I got to listen to the Squarespace and the whatever else,
That's smart.
That stamps.com or whatever. Yeah.
Stamps.com. Oh my God, stamps.com. His newest thing is like the free therapy app.
Yeah.
I think
everybody's got that. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and it's the same ads on every one of them. I just wish some of them would sponsor me. No offense to any of your ads. Any of the ads. No. Anyways, it was great talking to you. It was awesome. Look, like I said, I look forward to anything that you're in. Is there anywhere, anything you'd like to plug online or anything people can find you or anything?
I guess you can find me. I don't tweet at all because that's dangerous.
Yeah.
People are getting Jesus.
I know.
And plus, I just don't understand Twitter. I don't get
I don't either.
I log on to it and I'll see bit.URL / and I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't get the Twitter or the TikTok or any of that stuff.
TikTok. I get TikTok more than
Twitter.
Twitter, yeah, but it's just I don't know. It's just not for me. I guess I'm getting into Instagram now just because I don't know. I have like 5 photos on Instagram, but now that Superstore has ended, all of a sudden I have all these photos that I can release, whatever.
Nice.
And I guess I'm at Macool30 on
Okay.
Instagram. I don't know, just
Okay.
Macoule.
I'll
The
I'll
number-
link that in the show notes so people can find you. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm just looking to see. I'm now checking in right now. I have 954 followers. That's
Nice.
up from 500 where it was a couple days ago. But I'm posting more Superstore stuff and I'm trying to make some more of my own projects.
Yeah.
To get my own sort of like, because it's hard to get anybody together and shoot a web series during this pandemic or anything like that. So I'm looking for some just like solo projects that I can host on YouTube, and so I guess look for those when I get ambitious enough. I have no idea what they'll be called, but you could possibly see it then
Okay, cool.
when I put them on there.
All right. Well, again, thank you, and I hope you have a good night, and hopefully, this pandemic ends soon and get a lot more work and everything.
I hope there was anything usable at all in this.
Definitely.
This interview.
For
Okay.
sure. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. I hope everybody enjoyed that interview there that I did with Will McLaughlin. Yeah, he's a really, really interesting guy. I think he's headed for a big break soon because he's way too funny to not be. Hope so. I mean, I loved him on Superstore as Earl because
Yeah.
pretty funny, misogynistic dude. I don't know. I'm pretty sad still though that Superstore went off the air, but it was a good show. The series finale made me cry. Anything going on in your life here, Matt, that you want to share with us in the world?
No, just be good to each other.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wear a mask.
Yep.
Wear a condom. Go on to and if you're just at home and you don't want to wear either one of those things, that's fine too. If you're just there by yourself, but while you're there, please go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts or whatever the hell they're calling it these days, and give us a review. Because they keep changing the name of these things. I don't know what they call them anymore. I don't really.
I know they always change it.
So just give us a review. I don't care if it's bad.
Yeah.
Talk about how you can't stand my voice. I don't care. It's fine. I'd appreciate that. I might cry a little, but not
Just
too
a little bit.
Not too long. Maybe for 3 weeks or something. But other than that, wait, that might be a problem because I have to do other things in the world during that time. So I probably shouldn't cry for 3 weeks straight, right, Matt?
No,
that'd be bad. But yeah, please
No.
like our Facebook page, follow us on, the Facebook. Like I just said, join our Facebook group. Go to all2reeltoo.com and check us out there. Do all the things that you do for podcasts that you love, or that you hate, or that you're mediocre on.
follow us on the social meds.
Yes,
as you say, social meds.
Yes, you can check out Cullen Park, which is the parent company of this show. We're on the Twits and the Grams.
Yep. Yep.
We haven't gotten on the TikToks yet.
Nope. Not much of a talker.
No.
Or a ticker, rather.
Yeah.
Even at that.
Sometimes I tick, other times I talk. but I never do them together.
Yep.
So that's the problem.
No. Why would you?
No. But anyways, be good to each other.
Yeah.
If you run a VHS, be kind and rewind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.